Ortiz wants to put a smile on your face with Drive Time, where the community come together and we live, love, and laugh. And then he takes us down the lane and plays the best substance gospel with the name of Jesus. Call in and speak with him live and make your request at 478-250-1444.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
And hello again. Let's see if it works this time.
I think it does sound a little better. So I think.
In bizarro world.
Yeah. I was just kind of asking Emily about what was going on because, she's always got some. Emily, I just have a question for you. We're getting ready for back to school. I just really didn't realize the kids were going to school like so quickly, like August 3rd. I just want to know that you may make a new batch of back to school soap.
I didn't. I need them to buy the regular soap because them kids be musty. So.
Oh, by the way, Henry needs some deodorant. I'm just saying.
I got you. I got you covered on deodorant. I just actually made a huge batch, so we're good on deodorant.
Well, he was just like, I gotta call Emily because, not to put a plug out for Emily, but to put a plug out because she's really, really good at what she does.
Thank you.
She her natural deodorant for people who have like sensitive underarms is fabulous. Henry takes it and just use like a little put a little bit on his hands and uses it with his hands as opposed to trying to save it. I'm like, why are you trying to conserve deodorant?
Because you only need a little bit of it.
That's true. And Henry, for people that don't know in our listening audience, he's about 6'4", and he's a big man. So when I tell you that the deodorant holds, it does. I mean, it really works. His clothes are not sweaty or anything like that. So it's really good stuff. Along with the other whip mousse that he puts on his hair because he uses that too.
So the moral of this story is Emily's deodorant makes you smell like a human.
It keeps you smelling like a human.
Right, it keeps you smelling.
Like
that's right.
Right.
But listen, hold it. Let's not go any further.
What?
It's somebody's birthday.
It is.
It
is, and they don't want me singing. So whose birthday?
It's my friend's birthday.
Who?
Unless
happy birthday
just sing
to you.
Boom.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Henry. Happy birthday to you.
Henry, happy
And
birthday, my friend.
more.
Because I didn't believe any of the things that Brenda said you said today.
Henry actually.
And hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
What's up, Steve?
Be sure and wish Henry a happy birthday. Hey, Sheila, what's going on? Today, I got Henry up, made him his coffee. I make him coffee every morning and take it to him in the bed.
Okay.
And just really been spoiling him today because he deserves to be spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that know, I didn't say mean things to him or anything. I was just, it's really nice. I didn't do anything to him.
Check Brenda for a fever, Emily.
Yeah. Why are you looking like that, Emily? What's wrong with your eyes?
You said what?
I was
Stunned,
nice.
right?
I was nice to Henry today.
Check her for a fever.
I was really, really nice to him. And I had Jay Clean for those, and he's my cleaner. You know Jay Clean, don't you?
No.
Jay Clean drive a green. It really is. Jay drive a lime green van, really and truly, and come to your house and pick up your laundry. Now I like that, Emily. I probably do need to give you. Because Henry gets his shirts laundered and he just come to our house, get the clothes, clean the clothes, and then drop them back off.
It's something that I can aspire to. I'm not in that tax bracket.
Right.
You don't know if it's expensive or not. You don't know that.
Again, I'm not in the tax bracket.
It's called in the busy bracket, though. When you're like super busy, it really is convenient. There's some people out there, and some of our listeners, and I won't name them. They have people that come and help them, clean the house, and there's some entrepreneurs out there that will come and do your laundry. I just had a sister who's an extreme couponer, Emily, that just sent me an inbox and said, "Hey,
hold up, what's an extreme?" You can't just say stuff like that.
Oh, you don't know what an
because
extreme couponer is?
Men are listening, so you can't just say stuff like that. Explain what
Emily, maybe you can do a better job of it, because sometimes.
Okay, so like an extreme couponer is somebody that actually, like, they get the Sunday paper, they cut and clip out all of the coupons, they go online and get all the online coupons, they go on their cell phone, pull up all the apps that have online or app coupons, and they go to the store. So say, for instance, you buy Tide, and Tide is regularly $5 for a tub of Tide.
$5.49.
Okay, $5.49.
We on the Price is Right.
For a tub of Tide. And so the coupon will say, if you buy 2 tubs of Tide, you get 50 cents off. Okay, are we focused on
Yes, we're focused.
Okay, so you buy 2 things of Tide, and the coupon says you buy 2 Tides, you get $3 off.
Right.
So you also have a 20% off coupon. And then you have, well, if you buy 2 things of Tide, you're already getting $3 off, plus you're getting 20% off. And if you get both of those items, you also are eligible to get 3 tubes of toothpaste for $1. So these people actually take the time and they go through all the coupons and actually read the fine print. And like, people will literally go and get $250 worth of stuff and come out paying $6 for it.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's called extreme. It was a whole TV show. I don't think it still comes on. It's called Extreme Couponing, and you'd be amazed at how, like, stores like Kroger will honor anybody else's coupon. So if Kroger has something that's $3 and you have it, and Walmart has it for $2.50, Kroger has to give it to you for $2.50. And then if you have a coupon for it, not only are you getting it for $2.50 and you have a 50-cent off coupon, now you're paying $2. Well, if it's half price day at Kroger and you have the Kroger Plus card, now you've just paid $1 for something that costs $3.50.
Yeah.
So it's extreme couponing.
And I'm glad that you explained it, because I wouldn't have been able to explain it the way that you're doing it. But I was just saying, the entrepreneurs, that people are out there really doing some neat things. And some of them, and you can't blame anybody for having a hustle. They'll go and like, she sent me an inbox. She says, my utility room, room is filled with all of this stuff. Don't you need to, you want to buy some of this stuff off me? And I'm like, yeah, because for people who do extreme couponing like that, she needs to make room for more stuff.
And a lot of people do that. I do know a couple of people. They have the online yard sales on Facebook. Like, they have one for Warner Robins, one for Macon, one for Perry, and you'll see them selling buckets of household products for $5. And then there's a $10 bucket. And in the $10 bucket, you may get 15 items, and the bucket may be worth $55 or $60, and you only paid $10 for it. Yeah. And it'll have like Clorox cleanup, disinfecting wipes. So
what do you call these events?
It's just, you just have to know the people to do it. Yeah. It's not something that's advertised. It's one of those things that's just, you were talking about, I'm just saying that people, there's some people out there really hustling. And so, I'll do something like this and support a business like that, and then it frees up some revenue so that I can pay to get Henry's cleaning done.
478-250-1444. The call-in number. We're live. 478-250-1444. And call in if you've got some bargains.
You know what?
I'm a bachelor.
Johnny, didn't I see you in there?
So the bachelor thing sort of kind of goes into the question that you posed to us today. That's why I was making sure the word bachelor was being used.
Okay.
Oh, but before we get into that, I've been running into lately a lot of people who have been describing Jesus events.
What is that?
You know, they talk about certain things Jesus did, or they would say, you know, different pictures that they see Jesus in, you know, chakras, and you know how you say it? Stuff like that. And I always, when I hear somebody say that, when they have seen a picture of Jesus, I always wonder who took that picture. And, you know, I just
help him, Lord.
I've just never been able to figure out who have been taking these pictures of Jesus.
Well, you know what? It's real interesting that you should say that. Maybe that's a conversation that we can have. Is like, how do you determine what, you know, who, you know, how Jesus looked?
That's what I'm saying. So, but people got all these pictures of Jesus in their house, and I keep wondering who took the picture of Jesus.
Nobody. And they just took it from their head, and they just took it from their imagination of what they think it's like. And that's why, you know, when I grew up as a child at Turner Tabernacle, that's where I grew up.
On 3rd Street.
On 3rd and Hawthorne. When I went to Sunday school, Emily, all I knew was white Jesus. That's all that was in the Sunday school books. It wasn't until Keith Bankston, God bless his soul, painted a picture of black Jesus. That was the first time I saw it. And I was like, I was in my teen. I was like, ooh, we got a picture of, you know, and it was so profound. He painted him. He inserted himself in it. It's just a beautiful.
Hold up. Him and Jesus was hanging out.
No, when I say inserted, I mean his talent, his energy.
Oh, I thought you were saying like Jesus was standing right here.
No.
And the dude was standing over there on the rock right there.
No. I'm, you know, help him, Lord. You know, that's why he's single.
Him and Jesus.
That is why you single.
Oh, Brenda, you kind of threw him under the bus on that. You think that's why he's single?
Because I question who's been taking these pictures of Jesus.
No, because some of the craziness that come out your mouth.
Oh, yeah, look. Let me say, before we move further today, I just came back from New Orleans.
That's what I was going to talk about.
And look, that was my first time ever being in New Orleans, right?
Okay.
And I never been to Vegas, but I understand why they call, and people always call Vegas Sin City.
I know what it is.
Well, New Orleans needs to be Sin City too.
Thank you.
It's the slide.
I just came back. That's what I say. Isn't it crazy?
Understand why they don't call New Orleans Sin City as
Isn't
well.
it insane?
Man. I'm down
in
the concrete jungle. Nothing but sidewalk and rails for the trolleys. The only thing missing was the beach and the sand itself, because all of the costuming that generally goes to a beach was there, except for the water and the sand. I said, these folks don't wear anything.
Well, you know,
and there's a whole lot of, I don't know if voodoo is real, but there's a whole lot of voodoo-ish kind of stuff going on.
It's not the voodoo, it's called the hoodoo.
Well, the hoodoo.
Yeah,
I was walking down Bourbon Street. I saw this man. I said, okay, there's a crowd. Must be something interesting going on. So the first time I stopped, it was these 3 guys, had a whole bunch of snakes. I mean,
see, I got to go.
Snakes longer than this room. And so I'm like, okay, so then I walk a little bit. Then, of course, people walking back and forth and they throwing beads off the top of the little thing. Then I see another crowd gather. I walk over there. It's a little dude with just a old paint bucket. He got 2 sticks and he playing.
Yeah.
You know, and he's really getting it. Cool. Little young boy look like he's 10.
Right. Oh,
out there hustling at 12 o'clock.
Little girls, 5.
Yeah. Little kids out. I'm like, I thought this
like
was
Denver's age.
Birmingham.
Younger.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
sitting there going,
where they mama?
No, their mama out there with them partying and drinking and got the big glass of margarita that big. And so then I look, I said, oh, there's another crowd. Let me see what's happening over there. You know, something other than the club. And this dude is sitting in the middle of the street. He got like 6 cats and 3 little dogs. And they all laid out on this pillow like this.
They can't see you, Johnny. But
yeah. I know exactly. That's on Bourbon Street. Yeah, he had them all hypnotized, the cats and the dogs, and they were frozen like this.
And that's real.
And they take money, right? So they take money. They gave it to the guy. He put it up under the cat or the dog's arm. All right, so I stand there a little longer. And so then now the chirping started. This girl says, well, what is he doing? I don't know. And she looked at me. I'm like, I don't know.
But see, y'all crazy.
Then the dude would touch him and he'd say something and they come to life. And they just be jumping around like cats and dogs do. Mm-hmm. Then he grab them and put them in his arm. And he whispers something in their ear. And they just go.
They fall right out because the listeners can't. But you see, now let me just tell you. See, I don't even want to listen.
This is too much for me.
I was gonna say, I can't look at that kind of stuff because I don't want whatever they got going on.
Too much for me.
Whatever they got going on, Emily, I don't mess with it. Yeah. I believe in one God. I'm very, very protective about that belief, and just to show there's some dark energy out there. Brenda Williams don't want none of it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I ain't trying to bring it home or nothing like that. So Henry Williams said that this painting, as and he's got a name up here, and he's telling you about
I think it's Godwin.
Well, it may be, and he's telling you about some of the paintings and stuff like that of
Jesus.
Yeah. Thanks, Henry. We appreciate you because she's out there listening to us.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, it is his birthday. Did you hear us sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President?
Henry, you'll be proud to know that while I was in New Orleans, every chance I got, I told those New Orleans people, Falcons, baby.
Oh, please.
And I immediately left the store I was in.
I went to New Orleans, and I'm trying to think, and they had more of that saint stuff. It was like, now that's an interesting. Why would they be the New Orleans saint in a time like that?
I don't know.
That's real interesting. What kind of saint?
And what do you call the mausoleum?
I don't know, but they got all them graves and stuff all up in there, and man, them people be throwing bones and stuff.
It's a different kind of place, man.
It's a different kind of place. It's a different kind of energy, and Brenda don't want none of it.
Yeah,
okay?
it's a different kind of place.
I ain't trying to fool with it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't. But let me tell you,
what?
Red beans and rice.
Oh, they can do something with it.
Who? I have had red beans and rice before. I ain't never liked them, but theirs.
They put something on it. Then
what restaurant? Which one?
One of them was Niao. One of them was Bread of Heaven, something of heaven.
Feed me till I want no more.
Man, but they got this place called Willie's Chicken.
Yeah, on every corner is a Willie's Chicken.
Man,
well,
and the drinks.
Well, I don't drink.
And the chicken.
Well, I don't know. Henry and I've gone there. We had the jambalaya and
Wait a minute. Whoa. You and Henry went to New Orleans and did what?
You know what? We grown.
Oh my God!
I married I got a grown whole husband.
You got a whole husband.
I got a whole husband.
You mean WHOLE?
Yeah.
Okay, because it sounded like you said something. I was just trying to clarify.
Clarification.
So you grown, so you got a whole husband. So what was y'all doing in the city of sin?
We don't sin anymore because we're married. All right. Now
saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah, that was just a little soft punt.
Yes.
God, Emily.
I mean, you be coming for Johnny. I just be trying to look out for him sometime.
You know what though? I just really, we're crazy about Johnny, and
are we though?
Yeah. We really, and I hear so many people say, they're in Macon, and they'll say, you know what? We can't ever, and I'm not talking about you, Johnny. I'm prefacing it with it. I'm not talking about you.
Yes,
but there are so many good people in Macon, maybe male and female, who cannot find that mate. I just kind of want to explore, why do you think good people can't find each other?
Because they have too big of a checklist.
Okay. So they're seeking perfection. You got on me about that checklist.
I did. And when you put that checklist to the side, you got Henry, didn't you?
I sure did. Mm-hmm. That's real talk, Johnny, because a lot of people I had expectations. I said they have, and it ain't about money because I didn't need anybody for money because I had money. But, the things I wanted for them, they needed to be this. And really, Emily, I just kind of want them to have all their teeth.
Well, yeah, that's important.
You know, all their teeth.
At least most of them.
They could be without the back teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, as long as they weren't missing too. Johnny, why are you smiling like that? And then, you know, I didn't want them to have a big stomach. And of course, I lied about that. And
I think that a lot of people cannot find what they're looking for initially because of their expectations and the checklist that I'm always telling my friends about. And it's okay to want something in specifically. It's okay if you like tall men, or it's okay if you like short men. But if you have a checklist that he has to be 6'5" or taller, he has to only weigh 150 pounds, he has to be light skinned, he has to make six figures, he has to have his own,
right,
all of this ridiculous checklist. And I tell women, well, do you match that criteria? Everything that you have on your list, do you have all of those things as well? And so most of the time the answer is no, because I think what we often do, we seek what we don't have from others. Mm-hmm. And so I always feel like when you are whole as a person, when you have your stuff together, the right person will find you.
Mm-hmm. I think too, timing has a lot to do with it. I think, you know, a lot of times just two people who were quote unquote meant for each other, it was just the wrong time. Mm-hmm. Like this girl got a song called Not in the Next Lifetime.
That's Erykah Badu.
Next lifetime.
Yeah, that's kind of a story of two people who like, oh, we're really good. We like mesh, but I'm already married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or I already got a guy. Already got a girl. I think that oftentimes, and then they got to wait until one or the other one dies, and then by the time they get together. But it happens a lot.
Or breaks up. I had a really, really close friend of mine. She moved away, but I had a really close friend of mine, and she was married to a guy, and she and one of the guys, or the husband's friends, they just connected. They were just really, really close. And she used to tell me all the time, they never did anything. They never, were inappropriate. Never did anything like that. They lived in two different states. And she said, we click. Like, he gets me, I get him. But obviously she was married, and her and the husband ended up divorcing. She moved back here, and the guy was single. And they've lived happily ever. They've been happily ever after. They've been married now for 12 years. They got two beautiful children.
But were they thinking about being together when she was?
I would honestly say probably so, because I think that
then isn't that wrong?
You could say it's wrong. You could say, you could play semantics with that all day long. But you could. But it's not realistic, because we're humans and we have emotions. So I don't think it's a sin. Like, if you see somebody that you're attracted to and you're married, it's not a sin to notice that person is attractive. We're human beings.
But
it's a sin to act on that. Well, I don't think that's a sin either.
You don't need to act on it. But the reason why I brought it up, there's so many people, and I'm glad I'm bringing it up, because look at you, I'm trying to help somebody today.
Well,
because it's some people out here that just say, I'm single. I don't know why I'm a career single, but look like I can't get nobody.
I think mine probably stems from sometimes it happens because, like, when you're youthful or something, and you might have the girl or the guy of your dreams, and then life happens,
right?
And because they're young, they can't make their own decision to do what they want to do at the time, if it make any sense. And so then the two people who are meant to be together sometimes never get together.
And I'm going to say this: there are some good people who are just single. Okay.
Well, okay. So Sheila says, Sharon said, if lust is involved, it's sin. And then Henry said, isn't it sin to think of somebody else in your heart? I think that is such a massively gray area, because
that's what I was saying.
I think that we're human beings, and we forget about that. Now, of course, if I look at another individual, and I have all these unpure, quote unquote, unclean thoughts, then yes, that's lust. But just to look at somebody and say, that's a nice looking young man. Oh man, he's attractive, he's handsome. To me, that's not a sin. We have eyes, just like a man looks at a female and says, you know what, she's attractive. I'd really like to get to know her. Man, she has a nice body. Does that mean he's going, excuse my language, burn in hell because he looked at someone that he found attractive? I think that we take some parts of the Bible, we take too literal. Some parts of the Bible we take and blow it out of proportion, and we forget that we are human beings and we have the characteristics and flaws of humans. We're all striving to become what some would consider a perfect being, but we're all striving to get to that place. And so we forget that we are still humans and that we are flawed and we will forever be flawed. And so if looking at somebody and saying, man, that man is fine, if that's a sin, okay, I'm sorry, God. I'm going to probably say that about 20 more thousand times before you take me off this earth. So just let me repent now.
Well,
and by the way,
I would have got arrested this weekend.
But you know what, though? And you can't cherry pick, and I'm just saying to you that I don't. The reason why we're even talking about it, because it's so many people that claim, they said they can't find nobody. They can't find nobody. And I'm like Emily, I just believe it's because your checklist is too harsh. Now, for a man, he can be old, bald head, toothless, dragging his foot, just messed up, toe up from the flow up, and think he's supposed to get the most wonderful woman in the world. They really do.
Because women basically don't choose men for their looks. They choose men for the security and to be providers.
I will agree with that.
Women do not go after men just because they look good. They go after him because he can provide.
Right. And that's how they get in trouble.
By the way, but see, Johnny, let me ask you this. Then it's a lot of you talking about them, but then it's a lot of us that look at the car, they look at the house, they look at what the person can do. Women do.
That's what I just said.
Per se. Okay.
That's all right. I just said.
And those people may not be the best people. I said good, they may not be good people.
But what I also think too, another reason is, like, sometimes we have I'm back to this again. But sometimes I just think that a lot of times you have your mind made up about who you want to be with when you're a young person. Mm-hmm. And then your mom say, hey, look, you're not going to go to that school. You're going to this school. And then their dad or mom says, you're not going to go to that school. And then they go to different school. Mm-hmm. And so then life kind of pulls them apart. But they really wanted to be together. And then even 40 years later, they still sitting around thinking, that's who I should be with. And so then they do become those people who remain single and never get with anybody because their heart really belongs to that 18, 17, 16-year-old relationship they had.
What some would call a person's soulmate or their twin flame. It's so many different ways to describe it. But yeah, I do believe that there is one person on this planet for everybody, like your true soulmate. And I think that because we are humans, we get impatient and we don't want to wait on that person. So we end up settling and not even really realizing that we're settling. We think we're in love. We fall in love. And I believe you do love the person, but you don't realize that, that something is not being fulfilled inside of you. And you end up divorcing, 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever the case may be. And I've ran into people that say, you know what, we just, he didn't cheat, I didn't cheat. There was nothing wrong. We just kind of,
grew apart.
Grew apart. We just went our separate ways.
Henry says, what about gold diggers? Henry, those are not real good people. See, we were saying good people. Because to me, if you're a gold digger and you're looking, let's say I'm looking for somebody to give me something, put money in my pocket or do all of that, I'm not a very good person. If I'm going after you just because what I think you can do for me, then it's problematic.
Well, I think that that's a two-way street because depending on your age, we're all mature enough to know at this point. As a man, if that woman wants you for your money. Sometimes they like it. Some men like the fact that, I can cake her. I can spend money on her. I can, do all of these things for her because that's a status symbol for him. So I think it goes both ways. So I don't, I don't like to throw women under the bus with the whole gold digger thing, because I believe a man knows when a woman ain't doing nothing but pulling out of his pocket, and they like it.
And some men do like it. Some men like it. Henry said, "Is it possible to love but not be in love?" Now, see, that's that craziness. Emily.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can love somebody and not be in love. I agree with that 100%. I say it all the time. Some people agree with me and some don't.
And you can love somebody and not like them.
Yeah, that's it.
You can love somebody and not like them.
Exactly.
So I mean,
we've had that discussion with my husband before. I told him, I said, you can very much so love a person and not be in love with them. You can actually love somebody and not like them.
Yeah, the agape love.
Yeah,
but not in love.
Well, you know what? I just think that
Sharon Wolfhard, what are you talking about?
She said complimenting is not a sin. If so, we all be as guilty as charged, only lusting and imagining.
No, we didn't say complimenting.
Well, no, but look at that's still looking at them and lusting.
No,
kind of
that's not lusting.
No, it's not. That's like
I could say,
pretty car.
Yeah,
she said compliment.
Wow,
no, she said compliment is not. No, she said it's not a sin.
Oh yeah, baby, I'm on your team, Sharon.
Sharon is right.
Sharon, I'm on your team.
But she said, because if so, all of us would be guilty. Because
that the relationship she described earlier about the guy who's a friend of the dudes, right? The dude that she thought she wanted to be with was her husband's friend. See, I consider that imagining, because she never let it go.
Well, you see, she was never happy in the beginning.
That's what I'm saying.
But see, we're, a lot of times, and I'm going to just put this out
here.
And
see, loving like it's like the vows you take.
Well, but a lot of people, we're talking about why you can't find folk. We getting back to that. A lot of folk, Emily, I wanted you to talk about that list. That list is stupid. And that's why a lot of women, they go into the church. He got to be a church man. And I'm saying some of them men in the churches, they're the worst ones. They straight up predators. That's why they in the church.
And all the man wants you to do is have clean feet.
Well,
Johnny,
see, you need
exit stage left, sir.
That's right.
You think I'm kidding?
I would imagine, I would assume all men want women to have clean feet.
You think that's not a big thing with men?
Well, I don't know. But
who walking around? I mean, I'm sure
there are. Of your sisters.
By the way, that is one of
with dirty feet.
By the way, that's one of the foolishness on a list. How you go? If let's say you don't know why feet dirty.
Right.
I mean, that's some craziness. I put like oil on my feet.
That before.
That's just. I mean, I use Emily's cream on my feet. So if I walk in the dirt, I'm like, what kind of foolishness is that? That's why some people ain't got no good person, because they up there they got a foot fetish and they looking down at the feet. Some people got feet fetish. Some people look at the teeth or something like that. They say, "Ooh, they missing a tooth."
You just got through talking about folks' teeth.
I'm talking about some of the craziness of it. I'm talking about
she not just a few minutes ago?
I said that these men.
She don't want Snaggletooth Lewis.
I wouldn't wear. I'm talking about. Let me see. What if you met a woman and you believe she is the one for? There you go.
What's your question? What if you meet a woman and you believe she is the one for you? What's your question?
If you believe she's the one for you, then Anthony, you need to go for it. Oh, you
saying if she's already in a relationship?
Well, if she's not married,
to be by the way,
but if she's not married,
that for us,
I was going to say
please.
But if she's not married, then she's fair game. See, let me just say.
But what if she's dating somebody?
Let me tell you something.
So even if she's dating somebody,
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna put it out here like this, Emily. You would agree.
If you didn't put a ring
these
on
women, my good sisters, if these men are not committed to you and they are not married to you, then I feel like you fair game for somebody else.
Because I know a lot of women that believe that, and a lot of women that agree
so what
with
you're
that.
saying is,
I'm saying if
the guy that's dating her, and if she goes to dinner with another guy, he should be cool with that,
because he has not made a commitment and he doesn't want to be married.
Same thing. If the girl is dating a guy,
right,
and then she looks up and sees the guy she's dating,
right,
because they're not married,
right,
but she sees the guy that she's dating with another girl in Chanel's or Louis Vuitton or whatever expensive purse.
She shouldn't care.
She shouldn't say anything.
That's correct.
And that's a loaded situation there, because if you and the person have agreed that y'all are going to be mutually exclusive, then yes, I'm dating you, you're dating me,
and
we've decided,
else.
We've decided collectively that we're not going to see anybody else because we're trying to take this relationship to the next level, engagement or marriage. Now, if we just casually dating, then yes, I'm free to date this person, go on a date with that person. But if you and I decide between the two of us that we're mutually exclusive, then yes, you shouldn't be dating someone else.
See, this is the issue.
Now, what gives a man a right or a woman a right to put those boundaries?
But let me just say,
it's what they decide together.
They decide to do. See, this is the issue. You need to be clear, and this is to my women out there, be clear about a man's intent. If he is not looking to marry you or not looking to be engaged, then you may want to have the kind of relationship that you can go out and find you somebody who or be open to receive who God has for you.
So you think all women are looking to be married?
For those that want that. Yeah.
No, you just said
if
he's not willing to marry you.
If that's what
and I'm
they
saying,
want.
You think the majority of women want to be married?
I'm saying if that's what they want. I don't know that.
I think not.
I can't say that. No, that's not true. I think that you need to talk to whomever it is. Y'all have an understanding about what direction you want your relationship to go. And then that's the way to do that. But I am saying that if you're dating someone and they said, well, you know what? I really don't know what I want to do. I really don't know if I want to be married or if I want to be single. But then you know what? He confused.
Do you think men are afraid of marriage, to be married?
Some, and some women are too. Mm-hmm. It has nothing.
Why do you think men don't want to be married?
Afraid of commitment and lazy.
You know why? I think men have a reluctance to get married.
Why?
Because they're afraid of divorce. Because they want to lose everything. I think that holds a lot of men back from being married is the threat of divorce.
Oh, Henry says, why, if a majority of women want to be married, then why do they play around? Oh.
Thank you.
If a majority of women want to be married, then why play around?
Well, because they need to be open. If they want to be married, see, this is the thing. The women that I know, a lot of them want to be married, but they have these extreme lists like Emily said, they want to have this, they want to have this, they want to have this, and they want to have this in a guy.
Let me ask you ladies a question. So in this place we live in, percentage-wise, would you say that there are more men or more women who, after their spouse should die or get, separate, do you think more women are reluctant to get into new relationships or more men are reluctant to get into new relationships? See, I think women are because a lot of them, if their husband had a good job and they're getting the check, the benefits, then they ain't gonna want to get married to nobody else.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think that women and men are built different. I just believe men move on a lot quicker because we typically love with our whole heart. Men love with a purpose. Like they love, okay, I want this. I want a wife. I need this house turned into a home. I need to continue on my family legacy. So I need you to bear children. Women fall in love. We give you our all. We give you our everything. So I think that it's different for me.
That's why I think there are some women who do that, but I don't think it's like the mass of women that do that. I just don't. People always paint this picture like innately women are that way in relationships with men. Percentage-wise, they would say like it's the majority of women are like, I don't think the majority of women. I think that's why they say that.
I would disagree.
To find a virtuous woman. I think that's where that comes from. I think it comes from a place of that because there is not a whole lot of women like that.
It is a lot of good women out there.
I didn't say it wasn't a lot of good women. I'm saying that we have this fantasy about females and mothers, just like we got all these Mother's Day cards. Mother's Day comes, that Mother's Day section is stacked with Mother's Day cards. But it's so many women who got kids, don't take care of their kids. And I'm saying so many kids that don't have parenting by either parent. But I'm saying, but the illusion is that women are much more eager, so much more dominant in being mothers. I just don't think it's true anymore. It used to be.
But now I see CL Dunson. My girlfriend and I made a commitment to each other. We are not perfect. I got that. But what I really hope, Mr. Dunn, is that that you all decide what direction you're gonna go. This forever boyfriend.
So you're gonna marry her, man? That's what we want to know.
No, this forever boyfriend and girlfriend is just a challenge.
Putting you on the spot, though.
You know what though? Because when you
want to marry this woman, Don?
Let me just say, when you want somebody, you want to be with them, you going to do what you got to do. Emily, how long did you date before you?
She's listening, Don. You answer my question.
Me and Raymond dated about 4 years before he asked me to marry him, and we were engaged for 6 months. So he asked me in Christmas of that year, and then June 30th we got married. So
when's your birthday?
My birthday, February 8th.
February.
And see, and for
he impressed you for Christmas and for your birthday. You said, "Yeah, I'm gonna marry him."
No, no. By the way, we know Raymond ain't doing nothing with them blue carnations. Now we already know.
See what I'm saying? She turned on you again.
I want full with her,
but
she jumped teams in a minute.
But I'm saying this. See, I mean, I think it's real. None of us are perfect.
What are you gonna do, Don?
By the way, none of us are perfect. Okay, none of us.
None of us.
No relationship. Everybody's got their own issues and things like that.
Neither
they have.
One of us.
They ain't lying.
What does for women? It depends on the degree of. What does that mean, brother?
For the degree of love.
Let's ask Sheila. Can you elaborate on what you said for women? If it all depends on the degree of love, can you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Okay, my wife, they said they dated for 4 years. Steer says they dated for 4 years.
That's good, Steve.
If you're someone you need to try to figure it out.
Now I do think, I will say this. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Brenda, but I will say this. I think that it depends on your age. It depends on where you're at in your life.
That's right.
Like for me, I was young when I met Raymond, and I had been married once before. So I took more time.
How old you got married first time? 12?
No, I was 18. 18 or 19 the first time I got married. Yeah, I was young.
Still young now.
And so the next time it came around, I wanted to make sure that I took my time. But at this point in my life, where I would think most women that are, I'll put it like this, my friends that I know that are around my age, 41 to 45, they ain't trying to date you for 4 or 5 years. It's like, I think that at a certain point, if you are both looking for something long term, it doesn't take 4 or 5 years for a man to know. He knows within a few months.
Thank you.
A man knows within a few months whether he wants to marry you.
Let me just go back. Hold on. Let me just say this. When I met Henry,
Don ain't gonna answer you.
That's right.
He's really.
By the way, and he shouldn't. And by the way, and he shouldn't, because you shouldn't put that on the air.
Well, he shouldn't have put.
That's
Brenda,
okay.
you be throwing folk on the bus on that
all the time.
I ain't, but I be throwing Johnny under the bus, but not her.
But I'm saying, but he put that thing on there about.
But you know what,
the
though?
Relationship.
But you see, I'm all right with it. He said, if you keep God in your relationship, God meaning that. How long before a woman knows that this is the one? I don't think it, Henry. When I met you, I knew who
question,
he was.
Henry.
When I met Henry, I knew who Henry was. Both of us was old. I was not playing with it. I'm like, you know what? You love me. I love you. We need to go on and do what it is that we need to go on and handle this. So we went on and got married. We didn't play around with it. We didn't go through all that dating and stuff. We had people that said, you know what, you really didn't know him very long before you got married. Okay. And we're just as happy as we can be.
It's a wonderful relationship.
Going on in the 3rd year. See, it depends on, number one, had I not listened to Emily, okay, because Emily was, Henry was good people. Emily was actually
in the other building ringing the bell.
No, she was the first one to meet him. In fact, Emily went on our first date. Henry and I very first date, and Raymond went with us. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And
see how she just left Raymond out.
And I'm just saying that it was wonderful. And I knew who Henry was. So yes, it is such a thing.
So you knew from the start.
Oh yeah, the first time he touched
I
me.
think that's where he was getting at. Women, and I think women are more inclined to, when they see a guy, they kind of have their mind made up, because you all are much more advanced than we are.
It wasn't a mind thing.
But I'm saying it's a guy's guy. I think women see a guy go, and then the guy go, and what happens with the guy is he can either mess it up or he can fulfill it.
Well, I think what it was when Henry.
I think that's what really happened.
When Henry gave me that hug, then I knew who he was. When he touched me, he put that bear hug on me. He said Brenda was barefoot but not pregnant. That was true.
You talk.
Contract got you crazy.
My hair was
thick. And her feet were clean, right?
Well, I had taken a shower. But, a woman feels that she can't find another man that she needs the standards of a husband who passed away. Now, that's true. I can see you saying that, Sheila, because when you're in love with somebody, it's really hard to find somebody to follow. If you had a good mate, it's hard to find somebody to come up behind them when you went through a death.
And I know a lot of men, it is hard for them when that wife passed to find a woman who could make good collard greens
and biscuits. But I just think it's very interesting. We can talk about loss and grief, because for those that are listening, I've gone through, grief and burying someone I care about. And let me tell you, Leon was there. Leon Jones was there. He really helped me, through some stuff. And it's like a loss that you've never had before. When you love that person, it's a different kind of love than with, than like your brother or your sister or your mom. I'm just saying it's just totally different.
Amen, Henry.
Dear do wrong, Deacon do wrong. Why do you keep supplying?
That is why I keep her supplied with Emily's foot cream. That's what he was
So,
trying to
fellas, for a successful relationship, please go to Naturalista
and get some of that foot cream. You know what? And it works good on your hair too. See, one of the things that Henry told, when we had a conversation, and I'm just saying, like how good people find each other. We had a really, really good conversation. And what I did was
the key is communication.
Oh, yeah.
What Anthony said. So when you Christians keep saying keep God, does that mean people that believe in other things cannot have a happy marriage? From chemistry to finance to character to respect to true support, etc. Are you saying only Christians have those elements in their relationships? Ooh.
Well, actually, in defense of some people recognize God that are not Christians.
Mm-hmm. And I'm one of them. Yeah. I would just say, I'm a believer. I know who God is. I don't really practice organized religion because I don't like it. Now, I'm a member of the AME
God
church.
Is a spirit. He is not a religion.
Right. And so, and I go to the AME church, and I love the AME church. I love tabernacle. I just don't like a lot of the other rituals and stuff like that go with it.
What does the A in the ME stand for?
African.
Isn't she European?
See?
Africans meet Europeans.
Oh, that's what. Thank you for clarity.
By the way, I want to go back to Henry's comment when he talked about a hyphenated name. One of the things when it's about communication. Emily, he would have had a problem with hyphenating his name with Sutton-Williams. He wouldn't have done it.
Why would he have done that?
Oh, really? Mm-mm. He wouldn't have done it.
I wouldn't have either.
Because see, in this thing, and I told him I'm glad to take his name. I'm glad to be Mrs. Henry Williams.
Right.
I love it.
I didn't take my husband's last name.
Most Christians do oppose.
So
she said most Christians do the opposite of what God asked for us to do.
That's right. Most Christians.
We knew it was African Episcopal. But we knew that.
But a lot of the Christians that are out there.
Don, you're answering everything but what
the question that was.
But you know what? I listened to a girl this morning, and we were talking, and they were talking about being judgmental and stuff. I don't have a problem with people who follow the path of Christianity because it's really a great path. Follow Jesus, be more and more like
the
Jesus.
Teachings,
the teachings of their lifestyle, forgiveness, and all of that stuff. One of the things I think that hinders us from finding good people is that we can't forgive the last people that we were with.
I think a lot of it is because because we cannot compartmentalize.
You know, but you bring all that baggage.
That's what I'm saying.
And that new person coming in ain't did nothing.
Compartmentalize. Leave that stuff over there. Hey, let me take a moment here to mention. You still won't answer that question.
By the way, why don't you didn't talk about are you giving away any free meals?
Look, if you want a free meal, 478-228-0621. It's a dinner to feed 5. One from Anderson's Diner, one from Granny's Country Kitchen. And mentioning Granny's Country Kitchen, tomorrow, Turkey Tuesday at Granny's Country Kitchen. So you'll be able to go by and get Brussels sprouts and collards and lima beans cooked in turkey. And then you get stuff like meatloaf and ham and chicken and pork chops and smothered pork chop. And let me just say, the Andersons, man, this weekend, they're going to be giving away 100 free plates in conjunction with the Housing Authority. And they do it. And they're also going to be going to one of the towers and feeding someone. So it's going to be really a wonderful thing that they continue to do what they say they do.
I was in here, I wasn't trying to do the thing, but I'm trying to get this extreme couponer because she had
See what Dunn said about me?
What?
At my age, single and
at your age,
single,
something isn't right. I would agree. I mean,
okay,
I know.
Let me tell you what happened, Dunn.
I mean,
Dunn, what is Dunn, a woman or a man?
It's a man.
Okay, let me tell you what happened with me.
No, we don't know CL Dunn. Are you a male or a female?
Because he talked about his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well,
okay.
that don't mean he's a man.
By the way, and Johnny, that's right. And Johnny,
I don't want to assume.
By the way, he said you opinionated. Johnny, you can be a little opinionated sometimes.
Aren't we all? So here's if she looks like you, Don, I don't want her anyway. Don, if she looks like you, I don't want her anyway. But I think
he done took it personal. Okay.
Look at what he wrote.
It ain't nothing.
How else should I respond? So that's a man's response, not a Brenda's response.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go again. Here's my reason for why I think. Because I think that I found the love of my life when I was a very young boy. And then life happened, and it happened that I couldn't get with her again. So I asked myself that question quite a bit. So far, that seems to be my answer.
So you've put every woman on that specific pedestal.
Level. That's right.
No,
so it's a list. It's the list.
No,
it's the list thing. It really is. Yes, you have, John.
If you're saying that you think you met that one person and you haven't met anybody else,
and nobody else measures up to that.
No.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Because I'm just saying that I don't know really why. This is one of the things that I come up with.
Well, that's I can hear you. I would just say for me, I was married for 20 years. Then I got a divorce and I was single for 20 years. But during that 20 years, what I did was I took the time to do an excavation of myself. And I looked at me so that and really, Emily, like you said, I had to clean myself up so that I could attract Henry. That's why I couldn't attract Henry. It wasn't that I wasn't cute and I went and I had weight loss surgery and I wasn't fine. It was none of that. It was my attitude that kept me from getting Henry Williams, or because I had
list.
With the list and some other screwed up attitudes and stuff that I had. I wasn't as kind as I needed to be. I wasn't as subservient as I needed to be. I was mean.
Well, you still ain't subservient, but
I was so mean. When my son met him, he told him he was sorry.
Wow.
Cause of man, I'm sorry. My mama can be real mean. Now that's something for your son to tell your husband.
Hey, CL Dunn, tune in next week. I'm going to do some self-inventory, and I'll see if I can come up with another plausible answer for you as to why I'm single. But you're single as well.
She said, you just said on a show a few months ago you found someone and now you're single. Johnny, it sounds like that you have the problem.
I do have a problem.
Shots fired. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey,
boom,
check
boom,
it out.
Boom, boom.
You're single because according to Brenda, you're not married to that woman, so anybody's free to date her.
That's right. Oh,
but he's committed.
Shots fired again.
He's committed. He's committed.
If he's not, no, now all of a sudden he's engaged. We've been asking him the whole show.
We want to come to the wedding, CL.
Hey, you've been fun today, man.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. We want to come to the wedding.
I just been teasing with you, brother.
We want to come to the wedding, though.
I just been teasing.
But you know what, though? I'm serious about that, Johnny. I really had to work on me. For those that are listening, if you, Cindy Trim had a book called Soul Fast. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I went through this 30-day soul fast.
You too, Steve. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations. Hey, man, I was just picking at you, man.
You know, but I went through this book, and what I did was I did some soul excavation, looking at myself, and that really helped me. And one of the things I realized is what Emily, I was like, man, I got all this stuff. You know, he got to be this. I ain't talking about no credit score or nothing like that. You know, but what I realized was that Brenda, was the blocker.
Mm-hmm.
I am the blocker. Now, you know, for those, we can continue this conversation after we go off air. Just check the comment sections. Just kind of want to let you know that we're able to do that. Mm-hmm. So just look in, because I think we're going to have, we enjoyed you too, Sheila. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later on. Karma is real. Okay, and you too. Oh, Johnny on his phone. Johnny on his phone.
All right, we got 3 minutes left. Anthony said something. Let's go back if I can. I don't know if I could scroll down.
I need to know whether or not we can put comments.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Now, I was just having fun today with CL Dunn, because I think that's one of my friends, and we're just doing practical jokes today. So I'm pretty sure I know who CL Dunn is, and I've known who CL Dunn was when CL Dunn first started coming. And so I just had a little fun with CL Dunn.
But you know what? You know, karma. And so if a person, God is addictive like drugs, and then how is keeping God healthy for the relationship?
Oh, good point. That's what I'm trying to. I lost it. Let's see.
You know, he just put it back out there. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Hey, Sharon.
You better come on back,
Sharon. Sharon said, come on back, Sharon. We want you to come.
Yeah, invite some people. We're going to have a good time.
But
y'all got to start calling in.
Oh, by the way.
Talking with us.
Yeah, but see, the call-in, sometimes it's just until they get that thing right, you get all that feedback.
So you're saying he doesn't know what he's doing?
Anthony said he's doing great.
You know, so if they can,
God is addictive like sex,
so what they can do is just go ahead and just put it in the comment section, so we'll get all that feedback.
That's a good. We might need to talk about that next week. Anthony said, so if a person's God is addictive, like sex, food, gambling, drugs, alcohol, attention, then how is keeping God healthy for the relationship?
That's right. And it depends.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300 EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
Oh, child.
You don't need to dream about driving a Nissan anymore. Peach's Store wants to make that